Hello everybody, let's go through the process of installing the OpenSolver.org, not .org, .org is the website, the OpenSolver, which is an Excel solver that is not limited to 200 variables. For some of our projects, I'm asking you guys to have at least 200 variables. I know several people will need more than that. And the default solver that comes with Excel, the free one, is limited to 200 variables. This one that I'm going to show you how to install has no size limit and works pretty well. And the setting on how to create a model in it is very similar to the one that we already know. Plus, if you already have a sheet that you made for the free solver that comes with Excel, this one understands that. So if you have the model ready with constraints and everything in it, you just load that sheet with this new add-in and it takes care of it. So let me show you what to do. You go to, or you can search OpenSolver. And this is the site, opensolver.org. You go there. And it should look like this. Now, if you go to this download and install link, at the beginning they talk about a beta release, so let's skip that. And this works for both Mac and Windows. There's no cost. There's some little issues with this version of Excel 16. We'll see. So you should try following the steps I'm explaining here, and if there is a problem, I can try to help you take care of it. You can contact me. In the worst case, maybe let's do this. When you have to run the model for the project, you can get someone in the group who has a Windows laptop and run it there if your Mac is giving you too much trouble. But as I said, try doing what I'm doing here. If there's a problem, reach out to me. And if I can't help you fix it, then we'll go to plan C, which is the do it on Windows. So they have a linear and a non-linear solver. I think most of the groups are not going to need a non-linear one, but if so, you can download this. So for most people, the linear one is going to be enough. So scrolling further, here you see this to download and use. We're going to click on this one, download the linear, and the link will detect what machine you have and will take you to the proper download. If you want the non-linear one, you click on this other one here. And if it's a Mac, this is the link. So I'm going to click there. And actually, I'll do that. I wanted to keep that page open, but I'll come back to it. So it's going to start the download. Let's see. There's this countdown here. So yeah, it's coming. This is downloading here. Almost done. Don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, it seems like it's finished. I'm gonna go back to that page because there's some more instructions to follow. So first, download it and right-click the file. And this is for Windows. So you right-click, choose Properties, Unblock, in case you see a problem like that. It might not show. This message might not show. So if it doesn't, don't worry. For the Mac, you don't need this. So we're going to extract these files, right? So I'm going to see here, go to my downloads, and move this guy here to a place where you don't really plan on moving it around. Just keep it in a steady location. So I have an add-ins folder in my home directory. I'm going to move this guy there. Not sure why this is giving me trouble now. Okay, something is happening. Okay, now it went. Maybe it's the screen recording that's overloading the machine. You double click it to expand. Yeah, everything seems to be ultra slow now. Probably because of the recording. Just bear with me. All right, it's expanded. Now we can go in there and see. You're gonna see these things. Just keep them there. All right, so extract a convenient location. Don't move any of the subfolders. They have to be together. And if you double click on the macro file, the XLAM, it will, assuming your Excel is not open, right? So if you double click on this guy, it will start your Excel and have this guy be embedded as a new add-in. That means that once you close it, this guy gets removed from your Excel. So if you don't want to have it there all the time, this is the better way to do it. Only when you need to use this solver, if it asks to enable macros, you do. It's asking twice because I have the tree add-in as well. So there's two add-ins using macros now. Let's see if this works. So Excel should be opening in a moment. And I'll show you where it's located in there. Normally it makes a sheet open. If not, let me see if I can just open one. So I'm gonna open one of the ones from class that we know has an optimization model in it. For example, let's see. I'm gonna do one of the integer ones. Lecture 4. If I open this guy, actually the complete, because the model, I want the model to be done so that you can see that it populates. So I'm opening a sheet that has a model. Great. Let me see if I can make this bigger. So this is an integer model, right? Or a few. And we can, if you go to data, where the solver normally is, now you will see, this is where the solver is. Now you see this extra area here, which is this other solver, the OpenSolver, right? Let me show you the insides of it so you can see how similar it is. If we click on model, it will open a screen that resembles the other solver's screen. There's the objective cell, where the objective goes, the variables, where the variables go. So, and then you choose min or max, right? It's just a little, the layout is a little different. And then constraints, right? The same area for constraint. But there's one difference here in the way you add constraints. So if you want to do a new one, you have to click on this guy that says add new. And then the other solver has a button that you click add. And once you click it, it shows you a space for the thing on the left, a space for the symbol, and a space for the thing on the right. In this one, those three spaces are already here. So if I'm adding a new constraint, right? Let's say I want to cap or make the reach at least something. This is an example of a new constraint. So click on this left side, left expression, and then you can change the symbol like before. Click on the right side. You could pick a number from here, anywhere, or just type it there. Let's say I want to make my reach at least, and this is an example. I'm picking a random number in the sheet. And then you click add, and then it makes that constraint appear, okay? To set variables as binary and so on, it's the same idea as before. You can choose int or bin here. So this area is almost identical to the other solver. If you have already made this part as you're building your project, since you did not have the solver yet, it's totally fine. Once you load it in, this guy is going to understand everything you did. We don't need to do sensitivity analysis for these guys. And for solver engine, the default is this guy called CBC, and that's the one we want to use. Okay, so this CBC guy is a coin OR branch and cut. Okay, so let's see. Unable to find the solver is not run the solver. Make sure you run the solver. Okay, is it gonna crash? I don't know. So it's, and I think this linear one only comes with one anyway. So if we downloaded the non-linear, there will be more on this list. And you can also add more if you want, but we don't need to go there. The default that comes with it is fine for our purposes. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna follow some of the troubleshooting in the other page, but let's just try it. I'm clicking OK, and let's see again. The screen recording is kind of making things clunky. Try to close this and see if it goes back. Let me try that again. Model, is the model there? Seems to be. So let me do this. I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to clear the solution to see if it's working, to compute the solution again. And again, the CBC is the one we want. If we do, after you make any changes, you can do save model. All right. The other solver would have a solve button right here. Now, once you save the model, it kind of highlights things in the model with colors and stuff like that. This is a little distracting and unnecessary. So if you don't want to see that, there's this option called show hide model. If you click on it, it kind of gets rid of it. And when you're ready to solve, there's a solve option. Don't solve relaxation. That means ignore integrality. We just want to do the plain solve. So just click the picture or choose solve there. Now let's see if it's going to work. Okay, so it's complaining about not finding the solvers, and this is a step that we need for the Mac, so I'm glad it happened here. On the Windows, I don't think it's gonna happen, so I'm gonna show you on the website where the thing that needs to be done is explained. So we're gonna go there and do this now. So let me close this. So there's an installer inside the solver/OSX. And this I'm going to show you. So I'm going to cancel this for now. We're going to go back to the website. It's okay. Extract the files. Double click on this. We did. We opened the Excel. The solver was there. If you ask about any security thing, allow it. If you ask about macros, allow it. You know, if you're doing with this Excel, which probably is my case, follow the instructions further down. So if we're going further down. And there are instructions here to make it permanent. So if you don't want to have to be clicking the XLAM of the solver to use it, and you want it to be there all the time, follow these steps here. But I just want to make it work now for you guys to be able to do the project. So here we go. Installing on Mac 2016. You need to install the solvers in a different location because of some idiosyncrasy with Mac OS and packages. So go to this folder, they say, and you click on this package guy. Let's try it. So I'm gonna go to that directory, right? This is, remember we unzipped that guy, and this is the one we downloaded, right? OpenSolver.zip. We unzipped it, put it somewhere. I put it inside my add-ins directory. So inside this guy, the unzipped version, there's a solvers directory. And there's an OSX, so again, this is only for Mac users. And in there, there's a PKG file, which is the usual package that when you're installing anything on the Mac, typically it comes like this. So they say, double click on this guy and follow the prompts. So when it complains like that, I believe that if you right click and do open, it allows you, yes. So at first, you see I double clicked, it didn't want to let me do it because of extra security purposes. Because it doesn't know where is this coming from, maybe it's malware. All right, so right click on it, right? Depending on how your configuration is, you can click with 2 fingers or hold down Control and then click. And now you see it allows me to open anyway, right? Still warns me, but allows me to go with it. Continue. Choose where to install it. You pick the drive that you have there. And then I'm just gonna install this. Now it's asking me to give it the password. So that's your login password on your laptop. Seems to have worked. I'll close this, and hopefully this will be functioning now. Let's see. So I'm gonna go back to my Excel and I'm gonna quit it. And then I'm gonna do the same thing again. I will open first by double clicking this guy, which basically brings Excel to life with this solver embedded in it. It's gonna ask me to enable macros twice, once for the tree and once for the OpenSolver. And then I will open a sheet that has an optimization model and we'll try to run it. Here we go. Desktop, class, lecture 4. Complete, which has a model in it. So let's see, I wanted to delete this answer. Let's see, we know that the answer has value 1673, right? Let me delete this and try to solve it with the new solver, the OpenSolver. So data, the guy is there again, and this time I'm just gonna solve. All right, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Aha, great. So it is working. All right, so Mac users may need to do that extra step, probably unless your Excel version is really old. Windows users don't, but you need to do that, right click on the zip file. And also probably on the XLAM, just like you did when you were installing the tree in the simulation. Again, Windows users, you right click on this guy, go to properties and see if there is any warning about this is a macro, it's blocked by default, do you want to unblock it? You unblock it like you did. And that should be fine. Great, so now you guys have a powerful solver that has no size limitation and can tackle very, very large models in your spreadsheet. Enjoy playing with this. Looking forward to seeing your projects. If you have any issue with installing this or using it, just send me a message and I'll see you guys in class. Bye-bye.